You'd just see my feet and be like, I gotta just gleh, 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 gleh. Margle, margle, margle. Need more skins. Gotta collect all the skins. 60, I love penis vagina. Wow, that's a lot of such a silence at the end of that song, isn't it? In it! In it! Alright, anyway. I'm ready to come back. Perp up the jam. Hey, Sudso. I like how it's like, so much purple, and just, where's that green? Where's that blue? Apostron just goes, hi. Anyway, you may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it? They have something I need. They're up to something. I'm trying to determine what. I don't like what they stand for. I wouldn't say that. I don't really know what their deal is. So I would probably go with they're up to something and I want to figure it out. But I don't really understand what they stand for. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Won't know until I've met them. It would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Okay. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belasege.
Hey.
Okay. Animancer. Speak with head warden if you make to mission appointment. An appointment? So everyone can hear him then. Did this unlock any more conversation
Well met,
with
friend.
you? Nope, bye.
Hey.
Goodbye. Are you... This must be a Kickstarter. Yeah. Anytime I see a godlike, I'm like, and that's somebody's character. What your soul may be trying to tell you. You're welcome to browse. The spread of knowledge is a healthy thing, don't you agree? What's this? Animancy in the modern age. I don't feel I need to read that. Welcome to the finest Animancy Center in the Deerwood. Animancy means progress and experimentation. Unfortunately, that makes some people uncomfortable. The Midwife's Memoirs. We kind of skimmed through this a little bit. Bud Queen. Psalm to Wodika. This is long. Beware ye liars and unfaithful and blaggity blaggity blah. Alright, sanitarium guard. What's in here? Who's in here? Anybody? I suddenly had the drive to clean my room and do my laundry. Look at me doing not adultery things. Adulty is fine. Adultish. Adultery is not what you mean. These look like field sketches of Ingwithan ruins and artifacts. Cheers. But I'm proud of you. My heart sings at the organized and the clean. The Feast of Feasts. Week-long celebration happens the 1st of deep summer. It's just too much. I don't want to read it out loud. Like, I want the information, but I don't want to read it out loud. Too much reading. Could have sworn it was adultery things. Nope! You were wrong. This painting of a rolling forest glen has a strangely soothing effect. Clipped your nails. Yeah, I did too. I know that feel. I don't often play guitar, but like you can't do it when you have super long nails unless they're on the picking hand. Or you're 5? Wait, what? If you make a woman that is not your girlfriend or you're 5 make your room, is it adult? What? What the fuck is that? Does she might have big hands though. Why, hello. This strange device seems to thrum with power.
Gods keep you.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Eccosi! Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I'm gonna start with the basic stuff and then... Wife? How was I supposed to know? And what do you mean by make a woman? Are you crafting her out of clay? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you do here? According to my research grant, I study awakenings. Sublimating pre-awakened souls has been one of my animancy's greatest successes. I am working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. She gnaws at her lip. But the truth is that I find few suitable subjects here. Waidwin's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. She sighs. I fear I will return to Revua with nothing to show for my efforts. I'm awakened, I've been recalling flashes of a past life, or you're in luck, I have a volunteer. It's me! She scratches her chin. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. I need someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to manifest as alternate personas in the host. She gives you a broad, if strange smile. But I thank you for the offer. Something else you need? But what about our friend? What about Aloth? The other entity? Ithilmir? He means if you... What? If you force a woman who isn't your girlfriend or wife to tidy your room, is it adultery? No. It has nothing to do with cleaning. And also, don't force your girlfriend or your wife to do it either. The girl is like, rubber? What are you talking about? You guys are being so fucking weird now. I almost want to go back to the beard conversation. What? Alright, I'm ignoring you. It is a dynamic and respected field. Even the Balereach incident did little to slow it, she shrugs. People in the Republics are more accepting of risk, less superstitious. Ready to try anything that shows promise. People should turn to gods for answers. It's a shame that so many here are so hostile towards animancy. But animancy also has the potential to do great harm. I'm not sure whether the benefits outweigh the dangers. I think if you could trust the people who are practicing it, I'll just say it's a shame. It is, but such is the way of the Dyrwood. People here are fierce about their sovereignty, but they are not so independent from their Adiran brothers and their Glanfathan neighbors that they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the gods and fear the very advances they need. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Did someone say beard? Get out of here! You guys suck. She laughs bitterly. That would be me. though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those souls who have already been awakened, but I need subjects. And most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck, I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gillard, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I feel bad that I pushed him into this. I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. Ask a friend that happens to be a girl. Yeah, okay. No, it still doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard, then you will not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long-chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small-toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Audra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. I don't care. I don't care. You're all wrong. You're all fucking nasty. But then again, you are the ones... All three of you were saying some weird-ass shit, so I'm not surprised. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry. I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. I don't know what you're talking about, John Pope. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Seath Wood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. What do you remember about your home? What do you remember? As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisige doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Comfortable. Modest. Quiet when Mother is away, which is most of the time. Quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. This is when I know to be most careful. Father is good about hiding the bottles. Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. Oh. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen. The next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Madicho. Bella Siege furiously cranks the knobs on her scope. He's hypnotizing himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. Squeeze Aloth's hand. You're safe, everything's fine. Shake him by the shoulders. Aloth, you've got to wake up. This is just a memory, it isn't real, or slap him. And squeeze his hand. That noise you make when you can't pronounce the word correctly? I don't know. You also have a patch to your chin that won't grow. Then just shave all of it. Chop it all off. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Bella Siege sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it! I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in the air. I'm doing my best, okay? Don't make fun of my accent. Or do. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto, we have flares of totally distinct essence.
Suck it hard.
Mike, can you not? This is not the time. We have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Aloth, ask Isilmir what she's doing. Isilmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Definitely the second one. Fie, he's the one needed me. Hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling, only to take another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isilmir? Isilmir, what exactly are you taking from him? I'll ask. He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. You should ask him what I did to that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I brek it in 3 pieces. In 3 places, I think, rather. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Nigh was awakening. But now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper? Ach, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat their share. Kana studies Aloth dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. You're close. I think Isilmir's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble. Aloth's right, that's absurd. Isilmir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. If you're right, then removing Aloth's spleen should cure him. I'm going to say the first one. Bella Siege carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She dots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisige frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. You have a friend who can only grow a soul patch? That's unfortunate. Rock Smithin? Why is the High Elf Scottish? Well, you just got your explanation. And now for another episode of Work, Lurk, Lunch with Lady Lecta. Oh, this part. Yeah, we're at this part. Hey, Joe. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. Oh, I just remembered, Mike, that I meant to talk to you about something you did yesterday, but you were having problems with Twitch, so I don't think you heard what I said. If I remember when I'm done, expect a whisper from me. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. Or, it seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or hindrance. This is kind of the middle road. I think she's trying to help, but whether she actually is helping or not is... I'm gonna say 3. From my position, I'd say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. I have a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Inariel. He does not look at Belisige. She sets her notes on the desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Rebua, Fentre Aloth. Aloth. I'll tell you my decisions if you care when you're done. Sure. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisige is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He is just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation, she gets her research, that was the deal. Leave me out of this, fair enough, but do it quietly. I can't let you do that, not after hearing how much this means to her. Why can't we have a third option of, like, we'll say it's an anonymous person, but let her publish the stuff? I don't like any of this. Why can't we talk to people? Why can't I make a compromise? I'm so torn. I'm so fucking torn. I don't know what to do here. Because I don't want to piss him off. Like, I want to do right by him. But I also don't want to screw her over. She wasn't, like, trying to be mean. Yeah. Lyrics. I guess the closest thing to a compromise is leave me out of this. He hides the paper in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I feel bad. That's not what I wanted to do. Modred. Look at this asshole. Unexpected results. The canine host was listless and unresponsive, but it was determined that this was simply the implanted feline soul. Yarn resulted in vigorous stimulation. I'm gonna look at your stuff first. Alright. Oh! In a corner of Modred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important. If only by virtue of its size. Examine the trunk more closely, unlock the trunk. I'm going to leave it alone for right this minute. I want to talk to him first. An animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hail, traveler.
He forces a polite smile. Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Has anything unusual? Oh, shit! Just looking around. Then be quick about it, and don't touch anything. The sanitarium has a lax visitor policy, but I don't. Without another word, he resumes his stuff.
Hey.
I meant to ask her if she saw anything weird, but I got distracted by the other stuff. Sienter, but I'm busy. I seem to have misplaced my notes.
Hey.
Oops. Well, we can't ask her if anything strange has been going on, so that's a thing.
Hello.
Yes? What are you working on? My area of focus is whites. More specifically, how to cure them. What's a white? A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities through their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We, Animancers, were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall, and despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. Aww. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistake. And I promise you, angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. Why do you study them? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. And what could be more important? His face has reddened, and he turns away from you at that moment. He shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Good. He looks eager to return to his work. Has anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This is the sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. He pauses. Although, now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately. But they're Caedmon Azo's responsibility, not mine. Azo Piglet. I just said a thing and realized nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. That happens. I do that sometimes. It's fine. Modred nods, taking a deep breath. Then, if there's nothing else... does the name Helig mean anything to you? Modred starts. Helig? He is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He clears his throat. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Vailian Republics. He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. He coughs again. Perhaps you haven't. I've heard it differently, or do you know a woman named Rowena? No, I don't get out of the sanitarium much. About Halig. He smooths his robe. As I said, he no longer works here. I have heard it differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you, it is in very poor taste. Helig wasn't joking, and neither am I. So you didn't sink a blade into his chest and dump him in the catacombs? He'll be relieved to hear it. I'm totally saying that one. Modred pales. How could... He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls, and for what? He flayed the essence from Glenfathan indigents? I don't know what that means. Does that mean indigenous people? For his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He jabs a finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, now you know the whole grisly story. Helig said you stole a grimoire from him. Helig's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. Hardly brave, stabbing a man in his sleep. So you killed him to save your own reputation. I see it less like that. I think he's a good person. And ow, I just bit my tongue. That was unfortunate. I think, Joe, you didn't tell me. You're probably working. Since you are at work. But I was curious as to what you chose to do. His soul wants revenge. No doubt. He spreads his hands wide. But now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to. Yeah, I agree with you. If he sent you, I only hope I can convince you to return and slay him once and for all. Helig said you stole a grimoire from him. I'll finish him. He has something I need. I'll consider it. Perhaps I'll be going. He has something I need, is what I'm going to say. Dabbing a man to sleep? Like, dabbing in such a boring fashion that they fall asleep watching you? You'd consider a deal with that monster? He puts his head in his hands. If what I've told you hasn't swayed you, I doubt anything will. I must return to my work. I wish you well.
Greetings.
Cheers. Thank you. Looking for an expert on awakenings? I hear that Valian woman studies them. You should go talk to her instead. About Helig. He said you stole a grimoire from him. Modred's brow furrows. His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you? Give him the key. He said you kept it in that trunk over there. I'm not in the mood for games, Modred. Hand it over. If you don't have it, where is it? Give him the key. Modred takes the key with a trembling hand, eyes darting to the trunk behind you. You've been misled. There's no grimoire here, and Helig never intended you to find one. That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood, he shudders. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once and for all. I'll consider it. Consider also the kind of man he is and the kind of things he's capable of. Don't trust him. I must return to my work. I wish you well. Interesting. So, I did the right thing and he still won't let me in there. I want to save. I'm making a proper save. Tap on them haters. I'm gonna come in here. Examine. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock on the front. Whatever this animancer keeps in there, he does not want anyone else to have or see it. Open the trunk. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key. Fuck!
Good day to you.
Give me the fucking key! Alright, I'm gonna cheat a little because he's being really sketchy. I thought he was gonna give me the grimoire. He's being sketchtastic. I'm gonna just try opening it. I want to see what happens. I'm too curious.
Of course.
La 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 la. Unlock it. You take the key you acquired from Helig and place it in the lock. It fits perfectly and turns with a solid clunk. The trunk holds no grimoires or treasures. Instead, you find yourself staring into the feral gaze and toothy maw of a twisted, monstrous creature. Its humanoid form has been overwhelmed by bony angles and terrible claws. What the shit? With a start, you recognize the vague shape... Hey, whoa! The vague shape of a young girl beneath its elongated, malformed bones and grayish skin. It growls and leaps from the trunk, not toward you, but toward Modred. Modred has no time to scream before his throat is torn out. Why wouldn't I have killed it? What the fucking fuck? What happened? Well, that does not explain anything to me. That just gave me more questions. Which one was this? I slew Modred. It's not what Helig wanted me to do, but what's done is done. What? What the balls? Alright, well, I'm gonna reload and go with what I did originally, I guess. Because if you open a thing, if you open a chest and there's some scary ass shit in there, you kill it. You don't let it go past you and go to the other dude. Alright, so I gave him the key. But he's being so fucking creepy. Why does he have that in there? Obviously that's his research, and that's fucked up.
Good day, stranger.
I'm gonna say these other things. I don't know. Modred snorts. The reputation of the whole discipline, rather. You realize there are groups in the city looking for an excuse to have us all hanged? He shakes his head. I won't see the knowledge I've worked so hard for lost because of one man's madness. Hardly brave enough for my tastes. I heard a rumor he once laid a 50-man squad to rest on his own. At least I did something. What about the fucking grimoire? That's not helpful to me. Why is it so hot outside? I don't know.
Hey.
Why is he keeping a white in his
Greetings.
trunk there?
Hello.
I'm like... He studies whites because this person is someone to him. Alright.
Of course.
Had to go to the garage, get a screwdriver to fix your glasses, 50-foot walk, and already sweating. That's a lot. Ooh! I'm so looking in your stuff.
A simple test. That's settled.
What's in here? North Ward patient record. Batiksa, the Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates, between violence and severe depression, resulting from guilt of her past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. North Ward patient record Graham. Subject is a male, approximately early 30s, powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. That's fucked up, man. Leave him alone. Might be his daughter, sister, could be something. Like, we don't know who she is, and he won't talk to us anymore, and I gave him the key, and when I don't give him the key, you know what, I want to try something else. I'm going to finish reading this, and I want to try something else. Subject is male, mid-20s, displays acute dissociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject preclude possibility of further use of present research. The Midnight Man. Uskrim. Subject is male, 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia, followed by... And also, hey Kyle, how are you? Followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna reload the game. I want to try something else. I just want to see... Because I really want to know, like, I'm curious about this dude and his stuff. So even if I choose to go back to the original save, I'm doing alright. Enjoying the game, hanging out with lovely chat people. Can't really complain.
Gorgeous.
Well, I could. There's plenty I could complain about, but I'm choosing not to. Alright. So, I'm gonna...
Hello.
See anything unusual? What are you working on? What's that? Transplanting, continue. Like, I see. Looking for an expert. Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Okay, so... Do you know of a woman? No, I don't get out of the sanitarium much. About Helig, I've heard it differently. So you didn't kill him? How could... So we've gone through this conversation. I apologize for those of you just hopping in. I'm gonna go watch some football. Have a great evening. Awesome peeps. Thank you for hanging out, Surprise. Have a lovely day. And enjoy your foosballs. He said you stole a grimoire from him. His grimoire? I'm not giving him the key. I'm not in the mood for games. Hand it over. He spreads his hand. I'm not a wizard, and I want nothing to do with his detestable research. What use would I have for it? If I know Helig, this is his idea of a joke. Probably not one you or I would appreciate. If anything I've told you about him has sunk in, I beg you, return to the catacombs and slay him once and for all. That foul man will cause misery and pain as long as he's around. Okay, so there is no option to show him that I have the key. So this is what I would do.
I love penis vagina.
This is what I would do. And this is what I thought about doing.
Puck Dad, shut the fuck up!
I love you. Hi. But I'm just trying to get a sentence out. This is what I thought the first time I went through it and I read my options. What I would do, but they don't give you an option to do, is hold up the key, show him that I have it, and say, he said you kept it in that trunk over there. To, like, not give... I don't want to give him the key. I didn't want to, but I was hoping, as a show of good faith, giving him the key, he would tell me what I wanted. You just thought that was hilarious. All right. So I guess I'll keep doing what I did initially, which is the closest to what I would have done given the given infinite options. All right. I'll be going. I'm just going to reload because we were further. All right. So I'm not surprised that he told me it was in that trunk, that if he knew it was in there.
All right, then.
But I don't have a grimoire. Okay. I'm gonna look at your stuff and then I'm gonna talk to you. Note from Azo. Did you guys know that Azo means well in German? It's often used the way that we would use or like. Oh, shit! Ripley, I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. Caedmon Azo. Okay. Well, that's sketch-tastic. Nothing new to report? Skulls for mother? What? Wait, what? What is that? The quest? What is this? 15% experience? Father's teeth? Copper? Somewhere in the deep ruins of Ibril's well.
I'd like to order a hype dance, please.
Sky sport it, welcome to the court of the hype. Here's a dance to welcome you. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Puck Dad, shut the fuck up. Well, I wanted to get my sentence out. At least you didn't do the good old Mira. A pair of... I don't know how to pronounce this. Pugra prey on travelers and offer up sacrifices to their mother. In the past, travelers simply knew to avoid all trails leading near the well, but in recent years the Pugra have increased the range of their hunts. Travelers have been abducted or killed on the roads between Solus Vale and Midwood. Glonfothans are reticent to enter Ibril's well due to the religious significance of the ruins here, but that hasn't stopped the residents or of the affected towns from requesting help from within Deerwood. Okay, so I need to get people. Finished in 3 days. How do I get folks? You must be at the stronghold to recruit or dismiss party members. Ah, shit. Well, I can't do that. Because I don't have any people. Lost 178 to bandits? I didn't even know that this was a thing. Okay. I would love to do this, but I don't have any people. And I can't get any people until I do some other shit. Such as barracks, I guess. I think. I want to help. I feel bad that I can't help. Hone your skills, upgrading the grounds. So I think what I would have to do... That seems like the thing I have to do is to get a barracks. Because I'm assuming I can take those people and assign them. I have no idea. I feel bad that I can't do that, but I won't be able to do it until this is over. Like, it'll take me too long. That's sad.
Hail, traveler.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her. There's been a lot of reading today. Row by row, her motions quick and skittish, like a bird's. She does not notice you until you're nearly upon her. Oh my! You startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. Oh, he's the one doing the fucked up things. I'm here looking for an expert on awakenings. Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant. But there's a visiting scholar from Revua here named Belisige. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She claims to know about them. Okay, bye.
Of course.
Let's keep looking. What is this? The edges of the cage are dented and scored with claw marks. Someone was doing some sketchy-ass shit. Oh, I need a key. I didn't see a key in here. Balls. Alright, let's go back up. Gotta talk to the dude. Talk to the statue warden guy. First time playing the game? Yes, indeed it is. That is why I have blind in my title. It is the same for pretty much every game I play. And if ever I'm playing something that isn't my first time, I will say that. I envy you the experience. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Scone? And also hello and welcome. What class did you pick first time you played?
Keep you.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Caedmon Azo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Caedmon Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caedmon.
I'd like to order a hype dance, please.
Here's your hype dance because I wanna welcome you. Here's your hype dance, doot 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 doot. Welcome to the court of the hype. Enjoy being a meerkat, yeah. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I for one am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Sure thing.
I'd like to order a hype dance, please.
You've already gotten a hype dance. Get you out of here. Alright, where is this, though? I think it must be downstairs. It must be that key that I couldn't get into. Or the... You know what I'm talking about. Ooh. Ooh, muscle in my face is twitching. That's unpleasant. Whew! Blum, 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 blum. The head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Hot damn! Frail. Sanitarium god. Flesh construct? Who dis? Frail. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward. Her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. What do you know about this Animancer Azo? Do you know where I might find Azo? Have any of the patients been acting unusually? Why are you in here? More pressure on the O? I played a warrior dwarf, but my chanter was my favorite. Cool. I picked a chanter as well. More pressure on the O. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you spell it out phonetically for me? Or give me like a sounds like... Why are you here? Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. I'm listening. I wouldn't worry about that. When you blush, it brings out the color of your eyes. You can tell me I'm going crazy too. Aw. Just call me Sko then. But I wanna pronounce it the right way. I want to do it right, man. Or if, like, you have a Google Translate, like, this is pronounced this way, and I can listen to it. Well, is it a long... So, Mike, that doesn't help me. Because a double O, if it's pronounced the way that people would pronounce that in Japanese, that would just be O, like a kind of like a double O, like you almost pronounce it twice, like scone, like scone, or double O in English means scoon, with an oo sound like a spooky ghost. Ooh, scoon, like spooky ghost. So it's pronounced like a spooky ghost, yes. Scoon. Or did you mean the first one? Like scone. Like the food that you eat. Scone. Scone. With the presence of the 3, which I took to be an E, I pronounced it like the 2 O's. Like so like scone like the food, not like a spooky ghost. Okay. Got it. Anyway, I wouldn't worry about that. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made it. What else can you do? Poor lady! I moved into a tiny place in Andra's gift, got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But the spooky ghost was cool? Okay. Well, I can always introduce you like you're a spooky ghost, but then I, like, ooh, it's scone! Yeah? Then you get both. And the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving, the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day, this noble woman comes in, wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, this shade of blue I'd never seen. Only I had. I looked at it, and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. I remembered being a noble woman myself in another life. People doting over me. Men doting over me. Me! The best food, the most beautiful home. All the things you'd never dared to dream of. They were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close in on me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. It seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me. But I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? Aw, this poor lady. Let's talk about something else. Maybe you'll get there again one day. If not in this life, then in another. Maybe the gods took offense to your overindulgence. Nobody deserves to go through what you've gone through. You had it right before. There's nothing to do but live with it. I like both of these options. But I also, like, nobody deserves to be tortured by what they did. I'm gonna go with this one. I hope not. I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here go through every day. Have any of the patients been acting unusually? Well, there's Batisha, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Edelman, who they say only has half a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Aw, poor guy! Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Ozo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always was a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Ozo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. What do you know about him? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Ozo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened? Got some gossip now. Another Dane. But that's why I pronounced it the way I did. But I guess... Well, it wasn't Denmark, was it? I was thinking, not Skaldic. That's not a real thing. That's from a book. What fucking... There's a friend of mine, I think it was, what did he speak? It wasn't Swedish. I don't think. Could have been. I forget. I don't remember. Frail's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash, even if he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew enemy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. Oh. These are mad times. That's so sad. What did you do with the chest? So I reloaded and I opened the chest and dude's throat got torn out. And I decided to keep what I did originally. Well, I also reloaded to see if there was an option to show him that I had the key and get him to tell me what was happening in there, which was my first inclination before I knew what was in the chest. But it's not an option. So I went with what I originally did, which was give him the key. Yeah, there have been multiple times where I've gotten choked up with these NPCs. So what did you do, Joe? Ruffled chips? I could go for some chips. I'm gonna have a roast beef sandwich when I'm done streaming. Anyway, Master Alzo has scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copperlane. He was so excited. And the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. And he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Where can I find this guy? You let the white kill the dude? Yeah, the first thing I did was give him the key. You're pretty chaotic neutral in this game. I'm usually chaotic good, but I'm a little bit less... I'm closer to chaotic neutral than I would like. Or I guess I'm usually chaotic good with an eye for justice, but not necessarily the way the law prescribes it. And this time I've been a little bit more willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. Kid wants a dagger? Fine! Oh, I didn't get to that part, Joe. All the beards? Oh. Did I give people the benefit of the doubt? No, I would be more evil then. I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Being neutral rather than good. Beards do not make me neutral. They make me angry. Something churns and bubbles in this tank. The copper wires and conduits are shiny. The device is warm to the touch. Oh, I found him. I wasn't even looking for him right this second. I was just exploring. The copper wires and conduits are shiny. Something churns and bubbles.
I can do that.
Yes. Pick it.
That's settled.
Oh, hell yeah! Give me that special
Hey.
armor. You're not using it.
I can do that. That's settled.
Ravenwing, unique mace. Cool. Flogs himself out of spoiler age. It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Yeah, he's pretty squishy. He's squish-tastic. You gotta watch him a lot. Get out your mackerels. Who's got a mace? I'm using a unique flail. Haha, he's using a mace. Not that he needs another one, but you know. Okay, so this one does more damage. And it has the same bypass, plus accuracy when attacking same target as ally, which is almost always. 25% damage when attacking same target. Okay, so accuracy and damage. Damaging 3 plus 45 damage before accuracy. That is awesome. Is it better, though, than his other thing? This does not do nearly as much damage. 20% of grazes. This gives Constitution, which has been quite helpful. Will -3. You know what? I'm gonna have him use this and see how I like it. See how I like it. That's your Cypher's main weapon? No, I have not enchanted anything yet. I haven't enchanted anything yet. I think I'm probably waiting until I decide what I want people to use, until I get like a good thing for everybody, and then I'll do it. You remember me with The Witcher 3. Alright, DR7. Oh, it's light armor. Piercing, freezing, corrode, recovery speed -25%. Minus 50% stun duration, knockdown duration, 50 defense while stunned and prone. Blythe Golan, Wolfheart. She's got... No, just fine. She's just got... Her armor is fine. This probably would go well with her. Compare. Yeah, put this on. There you go. Get some awesome wolf armor. I might... No, I like the defense and such. What are you wearing? Just light. And this is also light, but it has higher recovery. What have you got? He's got a full heavy armor on. He's got special leather armor, properties overseeing, which means what? Plus 10% ability area of effect. I don't know if I even like that. Ooh, accidentally naked. Put this on your face. This is recovery speed 25. Hang on, I didn't check very well. Oh, no. That's not the wrong one. That's the, or that is, no. This gives damage reduction. So this actually has a higher recovery speed and a higher defense rating. Okay. I don't necessarily want his area of effects to be larger. You'll eventually have enough stuff to enchant new things. Plus, you get a huge return on investment if you ever sell some crappy old thing you outgrew but enchanted. That's good to know. Good to know, good to know. I would like to get unique stuff on everybody. Or like even just a full set of things on people. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't had a single,
Hey.
I've just been doing dialogue stuff today. Not necessarily on purpose, it's just, that's what's been available. Master Ozo said he'd make me better soon. I hope that he's not doing sketchy stuff. I've been hearing screams in the night. Alright, I am definitely poking around everywhere. Should I talk to this flesh construct? The construct turns its head towards you and watches you warily. Okay, great. Flesh. Patient, patient. Okay, so this is where we were previously. Crooked chalk tally marks cover the surface of this table. Crooked boards show deep gouge marks. They're spaced like folk or elven fingernails. Alright, got a bunch of patience. What's in this barrel? Just some ale. Alright. So I'm gonna keep looking through places. Boop.
Hey.
Well, we just got back the lockpicks that we used to get the fancy stuff. Can I walk past you? Cool. I like that they're purple and glowy. It's kind of neat. What's in here? Ooh. Scrolls and books and things. Bookcase. Elementary Glenfothen. What's in here? Okay, this is not stealing. So I'll take that.
Hey.
Apparently the other one is stealing, but they don't mind the first one. Or the second one, rather. What's this? What's up with this door? Can I be in there, please? Eh? Is this a dead end? No, this is just a different place to go. Alright. What's this door? Ugh. Don't have the proper key. Alright. I think I want to come back up here. I'll speed things up. Because I just want to talk to the guard that's there and see if he's like, you can't come in here without permission from so-and-so. Why, hello! Keep your distance. White's in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got close. I don't care. Let me in. Alright. Let's go see Master fucking with people's souls. Caedmon Ozo. Und Ozo Piglet. Do-do. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upwards slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Shut the fuck up! I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. I don't have time to give you directions. Go bother somebody else. I'd like access to Northward. I heard you were demoted. How'd it happen? Azo's nostrils flare and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Audmer? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste in his mouth. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. Damn it! So you can coerce them into your experiments? Frail told me everything. I'm gonna go. I don't want to get her in trouble. She was a sweetheart. I just told the guy who asked me a question at work, I know jack and shit about that. And Jack just left town. Oh boy. That's a Joe statement if I've ever heard it. I've been given permission to conduct my investigation down here. You'd best cooperate.
My answer is no. Whatever you're looking for, those patients will not be able to help you. The head warden will stand by me on this.
Ethelman told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmir hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Rayad Saras. We would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself, without the benefit of the sanitarium. You toy with things beyond your comprehension. It's dangerous and foolish. It seems to me we're still in the dark. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives. You're right about that much. There are certain questions that have to be asked. I have no interest in arguing. Okay, so I agree with pretty much all of this. But I'm going to say part about risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In Animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete.
Sorry, I just wanted to add to log my my water intake. If I don't do it every time I finish a cup, I get distracted. Or it's hard for me to keep track of it. So I'm just gonna add 1 water. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Oh. Oof. These are wasted lives. Get the fuck out.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmir's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. I'm gonna try this. Wait, let me,
My answer...
My answer. I'm gonna save, and then I wanna see what happens.
What is it now?
What is it now? So you can coerce them? I just don't want to get her in trouble.
She's a patient! That blazing woman knows nothing of the nature of my experiments.
He balls up his fists and digs his teeth into his index finger. A growl simmering beneath his breath, and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Okay, bye. Dun da da da. I got the thing I wanted. Fast mode. Blazing? Blazing? Question mark? Is this my face? Tell me! Poor guy. Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocence must drown. This man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have heard. "Can't hide from me, lead and key spy!" That's a little intense. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they were words at all. Kana winces. I don't think he can speak anymore. Not in words, at least. This is monstrous. Frail said you were being treated by Caedmon Azo. There are things I need to know from you. I'm going to learn them whether or not you can speak. That's a little aggressive. Let's just talk to him like a normal person. Oh, that blazing woman. Got you. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time, you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. We're looking! Because I don't think that he'll be upset by it. But it will help us, and maybe help him too if he's being mistreated. You project out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. That's so sad! You're in your cell. A key turns. The door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being just outside, but facing left, facing the end of the hall, the boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Decouple from Graham's soul. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. Oh. I feel so bad for him. But he seems, grateful to have somebody finally understand him. Oh, it's getting me. This poor guy, I'm gonna help you. I might not be able to help you communicate.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets.
I completely agree with you.
Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
They've made great advances here. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Fuck that. These animancers are as mad as their patients. These are lunatics and wastrels. At least they serve some purpose. Maybe it is. How would you know? I doubt the wealthier citizens have the same experience. Or what were you expecting? I'm gonna go with 5. I'm sure they have their share of family members they'd rather forget. But if all were treated like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here and are cured of their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. Here's the source of all that knowledge you were so giddy about. Calm down, that's too much. This is the cost of discovery. Someone has to pay it. Fuck that! The animancers justify their sadism with false cures and charlatans' tricks. Any good they've done is a coincidence. I don't believe any of this. None of these are what I would say. I'm somewhere in between a lot of this. I don't... So the way that I think about it is... that these patients down here, like, what Azo is doing is fucked up and wrong. I think that most of the animancers are doing what they can to help people without torturing them. And he's gone too far past that. And even if some of these people agreed to help with the experiments, it's unlikely that he explained to them or that they understood that they would be in severe pain. And this is a really fucked up way to keep people who are not well mentally. This is like, I do think number one, but I also don't want to just ignore the fact that this fucked up shit's happening. I'm not going to make him feel bad for wanting knowledge. I'm going to just say, let's get moving. Which is very non-committal, but I don't like the options that I have. What's this? This game has done a fairly good job of giving me options that I would say. But just like every RPG, there are times when the options don't align with what I would do. But that's going to happen because there's no way to code for what every human being who plays the game is going to have wanted to do. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. You picked one? See, that was also close, but I didn't want to come off as saying that that was reason enough to let stuff like this happen. What? Do you remember Kana's response? Because I'm curious as to what he would have said there. You close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to react, and you already feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly. You feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within it, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors, unheeded by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad. You know, I almost spoke to every single one of them. Coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along the length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" He asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You dive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy on the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from that borrowed husk. A watcher. You don't remember? Shit. That was a lot of reading. You made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. Or, I believe we share a common past. I'm just looking for some answers. Or, not a watcher, just someone who'll break those frail little legs of yours if you don't do exactly what I tell you. I'll go with 2. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and seems for that moment that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. Oh, fuck. Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, fuck. No! I don't want— No! I don't want to hurt Graham. That's so upsetting. I want to know what that is.
Beyond secret.
Oh shit, you weren't kidding. Oh, Puppy went down. I really don't want to hurt Graham. Alright, leave Graham alone. I'm doing my best to only... Holy ballsack. I'm doing my best to not hurt him. Hot damn. This is rough. So, I'm assuming that there's no way to not have to go through this. Holy shitballs, motherfucker. Oh, I didn't mean scouting mode. Skeletons! Oops, no, do skeletons over here. Skeletons, flesh construct. Everybody flesh construct.
I'll give
Oh no! Oh no! Everyone's going down, it's terrible. Poor Graham. Poor all of these patients. Okay, everybody attack this guy now. And I need you to do lots of healing shit. Are you still up? Have you been knocked out? Are you awake? Who are you? Where are you? Okay, so I guess not. It's just the two of us and a couple of skeletons. Alright, everyone attack this.
So much for our fighting.
How did he not get back up, though? He's got second wind. Holy ballsack. Oh god. I don't think it's possible to not kill anything. A duck keychain puppet thing? I think that as long as it doesn't make you sad, and it's more of a reminder to be open to opportunities, then it's okay. But if you're keeping it and it makes you sad or feel regret, then maybe that's not something that you should look at every day. Balls. Okay. So I guess my quick save is the best one to pick, because this is 19 hours and this is 22. It's like a joke present. When you squeeze it, it quacks. That's... Well, the thing itself sounds very cute. But again, it depends on how you feel about it.
Hey.
So we have to go through this whole thing again. Okay. Joe, did you pick different dialogue options here? I'm just wondering if there's a way to avoid having to kill the patients, because I don't want to kill them. But I'm assuming that he always does that, regardless of what you say to him. I'm gonna go with the same stuff that I did. I don't remember. Okie dokie. How do I subdue him now? Alright, first thing on everybody to come over here. Might not be the smartest, but I want to see something. Yes! Alright, everybody come here.
Damn it. We gotta take...
Okay, now. He's gone already. He's down over there. Why are you over there? Not that one. I want, this. Alright, everybody, attack this flesh construct. Whoa, 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 whoa. How are you already so hurt? Alright, you do this. You knock down this guy. Let's work on knocking everybody down. Everybody get the fuck down. Are you already doing a thing? You do that. You do this. You're doing that and you're down. Well then. No skeletons for us. It's 50-50. Sometimes I feel lonely and it makes me feel like, what the hell am I doing? But sometimes I'm like, don't let that happen ever again. You said fuck it and killed them all? That's so sad. Sadly, I still think it's better not to express feelings than to have those feelings crushed. That's not the way to look at things at all. The way that I would see it is this little girl liked me and, like, she gave me a present and that was, like, she put herself out there and that's beautiful and that's always worthwhile. If only for yourself. Like, even if no sort of relationship comes of it, it's always worthwhile to express yourself. Because at least you have taken action and you don't have to regret not taking action. And that way you have an answer and you can move on. Let's see, the flesh constructs immune to charmed, confused, dazed, diseased, dominated, frightened, poisoned, sick, terrified, unconscious. Ball sack McGack. Alright. Oh, he's down on the ground right now. Okay, so I don't need you to do anything. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to hurt them, but that seems really good. Okay, if anybody knows... So what I'm assuming is going to happen is that the game is going to not take me out of combat until I kill all of the patients, as well as the constructs. And... Like, because I don't think they're being mind-controlled or anything. Like, I don't want to make this fight harder for myself trying to do something that the game doesn't let you do. But what I would like to do, and if you know if this is possible or not, please feel free to tell me. Like, if it's not possible to save the patients in any way, just go ahead and tell me so I can just hurt them. In the meantime, I'm gonna do this.
Hey.
Serious.
He's still on the ground. Quick Google, it isn't possible from what I've found. Gotta kill them all. Okay. Thank you for looking, I appreciate it. So then I'm gonna do this. Like, if I have to hurt them all, you know. If I've got to. That sucks. That sucks. I don't like that. I don't want to hurt. Like, hurting Graham hurts me. I don't want to do it. I feel really bad that I have to. Especially after we connected with him.
Sun Ra.
What was that bell? Quit. That's so sad. Alright, well. I'm so upset that I hurt Graham. And all the other people as well, but like, I really was very upset. I'm really very sad that I can't. I'm off to play some more Life is Strange. Thanks for stream. See you later. Alright, MZ.
Alright,
Have
then.
a good one. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And maybe I will see you later. I'm almost done here. I'm just gonna look at the stuff in this room. The chain's grown with added weight. Crescent bite marks pit the edges of the cot. Okay, well... This bucket reeks of offal. Great. Let's clock in. Alright, Wormy, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day at work. And I'll see you later. Oh, come now. Is everyone upset with me? Alright, let's...
Hey.
Okay.
That's it!
What's with the bells? And I didn't level up, and I'm disturbed. Actually, I like just want, yeah, that. Move forward so I can attack you properly. Alright, so after this fight right here, I'm gonna make a save and we'll just have to deal with doing the rest of this area tomorrow. There was so much raiding today. This is the only fight that we've had. The one that we just did with all these corpses and then these corpses.
That's on me.
But this has been, what, like 10 minutes out of the whole 4-hour stream? Kind of ridiculous. Alright.
Hey.
So I'm gonna go like this. Like, I like everybody to be in their spots when I save. Can I order a hype dance, please? Fuck no! Save the game. This is where you are. Alright. I really want to know what's going on. I want to know what my options are. I want to see what's happening. But I don't have time. I've got real life poop stuff that I have to do. Not literally taking a poop, but dealing with stuff that is shitty. And gotta get some food. And I gotta take a break before my stream tonight. So, unfortunately, as much as I don't want to stop playing, I have to stop playing. Gotta stop streaming. I hope that you all have a lovely rest of your day if I don't see you. I will be streaming tonight, so in exactly 4 hours. No, I don't have to poop. I did that earlier. So yeah, if you guys are around, I will see you in 7 hours. I will be playing XCOM 2, because I have a different morning game and a night game. If you're only interested in Pillars of Eternity, I will see you tomorrow morning starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's it. And have a good one. I love you. Please don't kill me tonight if I'm not there. I'll try.
I'd like to order a hype dance, please.
Really? Demon Naughty Were? What? I'm not sure how to say your name, but I hope that you like your dance. I'm gonna dance and welcome you, bloop, bloop, bloop. Dance and welcome you, bloop, bloop, bloop. Weedaloo, weedaloo, boop, boop, boop. Did I say 7 hours? Yeah, I meant in 4 hours at 7. And I specifically told myself to not say 7 hours, and then I did it. Thanks for clarifying, Joe. I'll see you guys in 4 hours. Okay, bye!